What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisdom Girl and Wise Woman show. It's your girl, Wisdom Girl, aka Carmela, and this is.
Hey everybody, I'm Wise Woman Leslie Christie.
And today we are on topic 34.
34.
And we are talking about make someone's day. Do something good for someone else.
Yes. Come on, bring it.
Well, when you do something good for someone else, you are also doing something good for yourself.
Yes.
Hebrews 13:16 says, "Don't forget to do good and to share what you have because God is pleased with these kinds of sacrifices."
I love that. I love what you said. When you do something good for someone else, you're actually doing something good for yourself. And the Bible proves that. It just said that. Well, God requires that we live selfless lives. Try saying that 5 times really quickly.
Okay.
He requires that we do that, and his word talks about it, speaks about it, encourages us. As a matter of fact, his word sometimes commands that we do that. Philippians 2, chapter 2, verse 3 says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit." Somebody say, "Oh, gotta check myself."
Oh, gotta check myself.
Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. So today, we have some wisdom nuggets. We have some things to share with you when we talk about the topic, make someone's day great. All right, wisdom girl, tell them real loud, tell them real strong a wisdom nugget that you have for them today.
Oh, okay. Well, the first one is be empathetic, not judgmental. And, you know, most of the time we don't know we're being judgmental. Example, let's say someone, by the way, I got these words from our circle points in school.
Okay.
So, yes. So basically.
And wait a minute, before you say that, we're upstairs in the attic and the AC is on. So if you hear any rumbling in the background, just ignore it. We're trying to talk loud so we can talk over the AC. Totally. Y'all don't want to see us dripping in sweat. That's not cute. We ain't about that life. All right, go.
Anyway, well, being not judgmental is we might not see this as judgmental, but don't use someone else's pain to get back at them. And I think I explained this 2 shows ago. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But definitely don't use someone's pain to get back at them because that's being judgmental.
Yeah, I totally agree. You have to really kind of consider what somebody else is going through, right? Like be empathetic, be consider their feelings, right? Instead of just making a judgment based upon what they said, what they've done. And that's hard. That's a hard wisdom nugget. That's hard to do because immediately we, like, oh, that she said that because of this, or he acting like that because, he needs to check himself. We are all about that. Y'all know.
Watch yourself.
Y'all know that's what we do. But the Bible teaches us something different. And if we're going to make somebody's day, we're going to be kind to somebody, we need to really have some empathy involved in that. It's not all about what we think we know. It's about what it really is. And the only way to figure that out is to have some empathy. I agree with you. High five on that one. I love it. All right. So number 2, next wisdom nugget we want to throw at y'all. Remember, we're talking about make somebody's day. Come on, it's not all about us all the time. It's about other people. Make somebody's day. So she's writing the song out of this. So pay attention. This is true. This is dear to my heart right here. Pay attention to the elderly. Now, I'm not elderly. That's not why I said that. Although she thinks I am. But I have. You call me old all the time.
I call you old. A few times. Nevaeh is like, that's on you, old woman.
Yeah, she calls me old all the time. But anyhow, but it's near and dear to my heart because my parents are elderly and they go through. This is based upon what I know they go through. So pay attention to the elderly, right? Find ways where you can make their lives easier. So for instance, if you have an elderly man, woman, couple on your block, in your building, wherever you are, and you know the garbage goes out at a certain day, either one, they live by themselves, or two, they got people living with them who's not trying to help them out. Okay, shout out to my mother and father. No, okay. But take the garbage to the front or wherever it goes for them, so what about making a meal for the elderly and just sending it to them, just dropping it off to them? What about, sending them a gift like a spa day, right?
Right, or
Or
at least a card. A card works too.
a card. Yeah, sending them a card.
With with a like $1 million on it.
Well, okay. That
I'm not even sure if
in
that.
that case, I'm elderly too.
I'm not even sure if that exists, but it's still good to do that only because, like I go over there pretty much not all the time, but definitely all the time.
You're
Especially
talking
now.
about to your
Yeah,
great grandparents.
my great grandparents to visit them because just because I like to visit them. I won't stop talking
and they love
about it.
when you visit them too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes Pop asks me to wash the dishes, or
Good point.
Get him something to drink,
Yeah.
or he one time he asked me to take the garbage out, but I don't know how to. So,
But
go.
Yeah. So the point is
My dad does that for him.
Yeah. To do something for elderly people that either is a struggle for them, or maybe they can't do it, or something to uplift them, because they live in a world that's very challenging. Excuse me. This world today is so very different than those who are in their 80s, maybe 75 and up. This world is completely listen, this world is completely different from when I grew up, okay? From when I was a child. So come on, imagine what an 85-year-old man is dealing with right now. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say for my day, but I'm like, I'm in my day.
Yeah, you are. You're in your day. Exactly. So, Simone stays. What's up? What's up? She says, doing good makes you feel good. Exactly.
That's
it makes
so
you feel so good when you do good for somebody else.
Yeah, I feel so happy anytime I help my great grandparents out because I always get a treat, even if it's just an apple. I like apples.
Yeah.
And so does my mother.
Yeah, me too. All right, so be empathetic. Don't be judgmental toward other people, and to pay attention to the elderly. All right, what else you got?
Well, make time for people.
Now that kind of goes on with what Simone was talking about. And by the way, we call her Raven. We love her so much. Hey, Raven. Shout out to her jewelry shop. Come on, y'all, get with it. Y'all got to check her out on Facebook. Simone's Jewelry. It is popping. It's popping. I got a lot of nice pieces from her. About to, load up again once I get back home. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, make time for people, because they do good for you.
Yeah.
They wash them dishes.
But not only that. Okay, how about this? You'll know, okay, guilty. If you're guilty, just say ouch, I'll say you're guilty in the chat, right? But those people who call you and they always calling you and you're like, oh my gosh, what do they want this time? Or how come they calling me? That happens to me too sometimes,
That's very unrelatable because I don't got a job and the job I have is only Monday through Thursday.
Well,
and I don't get paid Monday through Friday and I don't get paid for it.
Well, you know how to make time for people. You make time for your sister, right? You make time
all the time. Okay. But I don't get paid for it. I'm very
all right, but what I'm saying, I'm not talking about getting paid. We're not talking.
No. I thought you were talking about a job. I'm like, I got a job.
No,
but
I'm not talking about a job calling you. I'm just talking about somebody calling you.
Like when you're busy doing something and then the person keeps calling you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you could be at work and someone keeps calling you, be like, beep, beep, beep.
Well, that's true. In that case, you can't really stop.
I can't really relate to it. So.
Okay. Well, anyhow, you can make time when that person called you, that one who's always calling you and you're just kind of like averting the conversation. You could make time for them. Pick it up and tell them, pick up the call and tell them, you know what, I can't talk right
I
now,
can't talk right now.
but
I'm busy this Thursday night, so like
right,
we could do Saturday night.
yeah, right.
You
Negotiate a
want to do
time,
dinner
plan a
tonight?
time.
You want to do dinner tomorrow? I can't do tomorrow. How about Sunday? Sunday
Yeah,
at 7:30.
right,
Come over to my
exactly.
house. I'm gonna be making some collard greens. I'm gonna be making the good food, the soul food, the
Right.
delicious food.
Yeah, and so therefore you're not just pushing them to the side, but you're literally making
Making time for them.
time
Be
for
like,
them.
okay, so I'll be there at this time. Da da da. Don't be like, oh no, oh I'm sorry, I'm not gonna hang up. I'll call you back, and then don't call him back till next week.
Right. Right, because that don't make somebody feel good. That's not doing
That's
good for them.
rude. That's
Yeah.
not empathetic.
No.
That's not paying attention to them.
And it's
Even if
certainly
they're
not
not
being
early.
selfless. It's not being selfless. It's being selfish. And sometimes, by the way, sometimes we can't pick up the phone. We can't make the time at that time.
Least text them. Be
But-
like, I'm so sorry. I cannot respond. I'm in a very important meeting with Pepsi.
Okay, Miss CEO.
And yeah, I'm in a very important meeting with Pepsi. They want me to make Pepsi t-shirts.
But wait a minute. But not only that, but make time for your family. Make time for, your friends. Make time in the circles where you are.
Yeah.
Because life goes so fast and so quickly.
Yes, especially your mother.
What you mean, especially in your mother?
Make time especially for your mother.
Oh, make time for your mother. Okay.
Be like,
all the children out there, make time for your mother.
I can't do this right now, but I can definitely do it next year.
See, you okay, she's talking crazy.
I'm not trying to talk crazy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like the other way around.
But it is important to make time for people because that's a way that you make them feel good. You make them feel important where you celebrate them.
You make their heart bust out of their...
Exactly. And it's all about making somebody feel good. It's all about making somebody's day where we are doing something good for somebody else.
Your heart's so big it can't fit in your body no more. Because you feel so good that you did something good for that person.
Right. And that other person feels the same way. Feels the same exact way.
Now your body's in a heart shape. Because it's so big. Because you did something good.
She is on this silly train today. All right.
It's accurate.
No, but you're right. Your heart is big. Your heart
big.
grows when you make other people feel good. And when they make you feel good. I know when people just do things for me to make me feel good, it changes my heart. It changes something about my state of mind where I am at the time. So hey, I love it. All right, what else you got? What other nugget you have?
Do random acts of kindness.
Yes.
When I mean random acts of kindness, I mean to send somebody a card. Be like, oh hey, I'm just trying to check on you. Give them a call. Send a text. Be like, me love you.
Yeah.
Encourage them. Know that you're thinking about them.
Yeah, that's important. That is important. For me, that is one of the most important things to do when you do these random acts of kindness. Nobody expects it. You don't even plan it. You do have to plan it, but it's not like, you just randomly do it. And you just pick somebody to show some love to, some appreciation for them, make somebody feel good. Maybe that somebody needs to be lifted. Somebody needs a pick me up.
Maybe you could take them to the amusement park, lift their spirits up.
Yeah.
When you scream for joy. Because you're on that really good roller coaster.
Yeah. Okay. And perhaps there are parents who need time for themselves. Just make a random move and tell them, okay, I'm coming to pick up your children so that you can have the day to yourself, or at least a few hours to yourself. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to take them somewhere, and then you can have time for yourself. Right?
That's right. Or you could give them the money so they can have a girl spa day.
Okay, give them somebody to have a girl.
Well, you do have to pay for it, but it's not from you.
Yeah.
Basically. So technically you're not paying for it. But you know what? It's through your card.
Right. So we're encouraging you to make someone's day. We want you to make sure that person or those persons feel so much better than the way they felt, where you understand that their lives are important. At that moment, you're being unselfish. At that moment, you're thinking about them. At that moment, they are more important than you. And the Bible talks about that, very, very often. You all know that we take our wisdom nuggets straight from the Word of God, right? Straight from the Word of God. We gave you Hebrews 13 and 16. We gave you Philippians 2 and 3. But there's also another verse, First 13. No, not First 13. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11, that says, therefore, encourage one another and build one another up. So this is something that we have to practice, encouraging one another, building them up, right? Instead of somebody always talking down to you as a child, right? You don't want to hear people always talking down to you, saying you can't do this, you did that wrong.
You're
You don't
too
know.
young.
Yeah, you need to be built up. And guess what? Adults need to be built up too. We need to feel like what we're doing is important, that the life that we're living, that it's important. Somebody loves us, somebody cares, appreciates, that kind of thing. Make us feel good too. And so, come on, let's follow the nuggets that are in the Word of God, so that we are making somebody else's day and we're doing something good for somebody else. What else you have?
Wow. I'm gonna just say this. We have two good quotes by two very great people. One of them are my favorite. The other one, she's my favorite too. But you know what? I didn't really know her like that. Anyway, we have this quote that says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And Maya Angelou said that.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? When you hear her say that, what comes to your mind?
That people will forget. People will forget that why you did it. People will forget what you said to make them feel good, but they will never forget how you made them feel. They will never forget the feeling that was exposed to them.
Yeah, they might forget the act. They might forget, like you said, the things that you said, but the feeling that came from that particular act when you were trying to do good for them, for someone else,
Will never
that's
be
the
erased.
thing.
That's the thing that'll stay. That's the thing that'll forever be
Yes,
remain in their heads and their heart, and they'll never forget it. There's no way that they will ever forget it.
exactly. And that pushes you forward and that makes you a better person, because then what happens is you repeat that. You do something, you repeat that act, or you repeat the feeling. You want to make sure somebody else feels the way you felt,
In
the
other
way
words,
makes somebody else made you feel.
yeah.
Sorry.
In other words,
Uh-huh.
you're paying it forward.
Paying it forward. Come on.
I watched the movie. It was so.
Yeah, we did a
It
show,
was sad.
Pay It Forward. So we want you to pay that forward. All right. So you say you had another quote from somebody else that's inspiring to you, or that
She's
you
not
like.
that expire.
You're just learning about her.
I said expiring. Inspiring.
Okay, go.
Carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you. Princess Diana.
Wow. Now that is a heavy one. That's a heavy one. Yeah. Carry out a random act. I love that. I'm gonna repeat it if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it again. Carry out a random act of kindness, right? Any kind of kindness, anything random, with no expectation of reward. So you're doing it not to get something back. You're doing it because you need to be doing it. You should be doing it, right?
Because it makes you feel
It
good.
makes you feel
it's
good.
Not and it's entertainment. It could be entertainment, but not like in a way that's like, how do I explain it? Basically, that's entertainment for you. Something that you can do, a hobby, something, a habit.
A habit. Yes. Make random acts of kindness a habit. I love it. And then she says, safe in the knowledge. So you're doing it and you're safe in the knowledge that one day, knowing that someone might do the same for you.
Let's go, Princess Diana.
That's wonderful. Shout out to Princess Diana. Yes. Even though we know that the queen passed away, but it caused us to kind of think back, to other. Are you breaking down? Okay, you're gonna be all right. Cause us to think back to Princess Diana and other persons who passed along that were prominent and just a icon in the world, not just in their country, but in the world. And so shout out to the family, to the royal family. We're just praying that they will carry on. We know that the king now, right? He will carry on the throne, the monarch, but we do pray for them, for the country, for the world, because it's a huge loss. It's a huge loss.
A very big loss.
Yeah. So wrapping it up, we want you to make sure that you are making someone's day. Listen, we don't want you to just listen to the show and just be like, oh, that's good. That's a good idea. No, actually do something good for someone else, right? Let's be selfless. Come on, we're moving.
Selfless.
Yes.
Wait.
Not selfish, but
yeah.
selfless.
Selfless.
Right. And we're moving into the season now of Thanksgiving, the holidays, and we ought to be thinking like that. What can I do for someone else? It doesn't cost a whole bunch of money. It just costs you time, and it costs you some creativity, right? That's all it costs.
And some thinking.
Some thinking, right? Some thinking. You can make people so happy and make people feel so important just by sometimes the words that you say. Come on. There's somebody who in KCI who every now and then sends me a love text. I was just thinking about you. I just want you to know I love you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
That I appreciate you. All that you pour out to the congregation. That makes me feel good. A simple thing like that, a simple gesture. There's some people who mail out cards, just randomly mail cards out to people. All of that and so much more are things you can do to make somebody's day. And we want you to make somebody's day. All right. We got something for you next week.
Show 30.
It's our 35th show. We can't believe it. Show number 35 next week. September 17, 2022. What's the name of our show next week?
Bad Things Happen. Why?
Because.
Find out.
Stay tuned. Check us out next week. And you'll know why. We'll give you some wisdom nuggets as to why bad things happen. And along with that, you'll know how to handle those things, those times when bad things happen to you. So we want you to make sure that you are tuning in every week at 2 o'clock from 2 to 2:30 p.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. And we want you to like,
share,
tag,
subscribe,
click the bell on YouTube. What else? Follow, yes. And friend us and go to our webpage. And which is
www.wisdomgirlwisewoman.com.
Yes, and join the family. Please go to our website, join the family. We got some things in the works for you. We kind of had to take a slight little slow down during the summer for various reasons, but we're picking up speed again, and we're going to be doing some great things in the future. Our shows will be on more often than Saturday, so you can catch the replays throughout the week. We'll tell you more about that a little later on once we kind of set it up. But we thank you so much for tuning in. We see you, Sister Vicky. We love you. Thank you for always being here. See, you got in late, but you can catch the replay once we tune off. All right, everybody. We love you. We thank you for tuning in, and we will see you when?
Next week.
And because why? We want everybody to wise up,
live,
and prosper. Bye-bye, everybody.